actually see what. Put that there. Hello everyone, my name's Tracy and welcome to my kitchen. Tonight I'm cooking dinner for the cameraman and I, as I normally do on a Wednesday night. And I thought it would be a great idea to cook it with you guys as well if you would like to watch along. So this is a recipe that's actually coming up in our newsletter this coming Saturday. It will go out and it will be on our website as well. But I just thought it would be a great idea to just show people what the recipe's all about first, and then you can choose whether you want to cook it perhaps next week or over the weekend. So this is a halloumi, prosciutto and couscous salad, but it's warm. It's quite a warm salad. So I've got a couple of things happening at the moment. I've got some couscous on boiling and some veggies in the oven. So they're just about ready because I started about 25 minutes ago getting those things ready so that I can show you how to make this beautiful salad up. So first of all, what I'm going to do is what am I going to do? I'm going to go to the oven first and I'm going to get my roasted vegetables out so that when we toss it all through, they're not piping hot. I love these warm salads that just bring out all the beautiful flavors that go together. So over to the oven, and basically what I've done here is I've chopped up a couple of carrots and a brown onion as well, slice that up. And I've actually seasoned them with a bit of, well, it was supposed to be za'atar, but as our delivery from Herbie Spices hasn't arrived yet, I've improvised, and I thought, you know, that's a really great thing to be able to do in the kitchen, is improvise if you don't have the actual ingredients. So what I've done is I've used one of Meta's beautiful dips. She does these gorgeous dips that you can just mix with some Greek yogurt, and they're just fantastic. So Meta is the lady who lives in Applecross, and she does Meta's crackers. So they're the best crackers, and she's done these very clever sort of Scandinavian type dips to go with them. But this is called the Nordic dip mix Scandi Summer, and this has got lemon, myrtle, sumac and pepper in it. So I think the main thing about this is that it's actually got sumac in it, and sumac is a lovely spice that is perhaps not very well known or well used, but it actually has this most gorgeous citrus sort of flavour. And as I said, I'm waiting for my za'atar to come from Herbie Spices, because that's going on our Providore list as well this week, because it's such a versatile spice mix. And that one has sumac and oregano and sesame seeds in. So with the Scandi Summer dip mix, what I did was I added some black sesame seeds. I didn't have any white sesame seeds, so they're black sesame seeds. So it looks quite funky actually on the carrots. The colour's really quite nice. So the next thing I'm going to do is, and those went in the oven for, at 180 for about 25 minutes until they're slightly golden. So this is the pearl couscous, which is now cooked. It does take 25 to 30 minutes. I'm just going to drain it, and I'm just going to also just rinse it a little bit, because couscous is actually, especially this pearl couscous, it's made in a similar fashion to pasta. So the couscous is made from flour and water. So it's like little balls of pasta. So we'll look at that a little bit later on, because I just need to get my pan is ready here to fry the halloumi, and then we can put it all together, because this is sort of like the last bit. So I've had my pan heating here. I'm just going to rub some, I sort of want it hot, but not so hot that it's going to make that halloumi burn. I'll just sort of keep that a little bit close to me. And then we use the Harvey cheese halloumi because it's made in Australia. It's made in Western Australia with Western Australian milk, which is really rather lovely. So the trick with halloumi is always to dry it, because if you're going to fry anything, look at all that moisture that's come out of that halloumi. It's in a little bag of whey as well to just keep it nice and moist. But the trick is with anything that you're going to fry is to make sure, I'll move these out of the way, I think I'm in the way of the camera, is to make sure that you've got something dry to put in your pan. So hence I'm glad I got a new roll of kitchen paper, because as I cut this, I'm still going to keep it really nice and dry. So just to make it a little bit easy here, I'm going to cut the cheese just into 8 slices like this. You can do whatever shape you want. This one's actually a little bit cracked, which is fine. If it breaks in the pan, so be it. It's only dinner. We're not trying to get a Michelin star, although Anthony will no doubt mark it out of 10. I'm only joking. He doesn't do that. He just goes, oh, this is delicious, like that. It's very nice cooking for somebody who is so thrilled with every meal I put in front of him. That's part of the success of our relationship, I think. It's funny because he can hear me, but he can't say anything, can he? This is in the other room. Right, let's take this over to the pan here. I'm going to fry it in a couple of batches, and just make sure, because there again, don't want to overcrowd the pan, exactly as if you're cooking meat. You don't want to overcrowd the pan. Just rub that around to make sure that we've got a nice layer. And then in goes the first batch. So when you're cooking halloumi, it's important that your pan is quite hot, because otherwise what will happen is that the halloumi, and I'm just thinking, really, oh, am I looking at this camera? I'm just thinking, I hope that this is not going to happen. I really don't want it to happen, because I've been heating up this pan so much. But you can see that cheese is, well, the cheese has just come out of the fridge, so that cheese is really quite cold in that hot pan. So immediately as that cheese sort of covers through, sort of a good half of that pan, it will pull that heat down quite quickly. So you just got to be a little bit careful of that. And I don't think it's colouring yet, but it won't be long. Just want to make sure that we're not stuck anywhere. And I'll come back to that in a second. Meanwhile, let's just turn this over. This one, no, we're not quite ready yet, you can see. Okay, so let's go back to the main bench, and the other ingredient that I've chosen in this is prosciutto. So lovely, isn't it? Like prosciutto and halloumi in one dish. It's just almost too exciting to bear, isn't it? So this is the Mondo d'Oro prosciutto. We absolutely love it, made with 100% Australian pork. So that's a really good brand that we stock at the Providore here. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to sort of rip these pieces up like this, and they will go through the salad. So this is one of these things that I'm going to toss in a big bowl and then put onto a big, can't even hear that frying now. Sorry, Mr. Cameraman. When I heard my pan was not, oh, there we go. When I heard my pan's not sizzling, I get a bit worried. Got to use all your senses in the kitchen. There we go. I should trust my trusty pan and my trusty method of doing this. I don't want to now burn it, do I, on the other side? And I'm going to get some more paper so that when that comes out, I'm just going to put it onto the platter that we've got here. That can just drain and just sit there for a minute. So just tearing these up now. Prosciutto is so lovely because it's got that beautiful saltiness in it as well, which is really lovely. And this is a 90-gram packet, so it just depends on how many people you're going to feed as to how much prosciutto you're going to need. This can also, you can also put some, if you've got leftover roast chicken, or if you want to cook a roast chicken and add that to this dish as well, that would be gorgeous. I've got some nice, some beautiful herbs to put in it, which will really brighten up the salad as well. And I've got some Swiss chard as well that I'm going to put in the salad. Okay, let's take these out and we'll put the next batch in. Looking quite nice here. So this is an amazing cheese. As you can see, you can pan fry it and it doesn't melt. That's quite incredible, isn't it? The magic of milk and cheese making is just something that is lovely. So it's West Australian Cheese Week as well coming up. So look out for all these beautiful West Aussie cheeses. As I said, well, as you know probably, you can buy them from us at the Providore, or they're sold in good food stores around Perth as well. All right, so I've got my extraction fan on, pop that on a little bit higher, just in case. And let's go and have a look at the next thing I'm going to do is just strip some herbs. So I've got some mint, and mint and halloumi is absolutely gorgeous together. In fact, a lot of the time in Greece, they'll have mint in the halloumi as well, and it really sort of gives it a lovely fresh and fragrant sort of or flavour, as well as a lovely smell. This beautiful spearmint, I love it for cooking. It's fabulous. So, and if you do buy some, you know you can pop just with one leaf left on it and pop it into a jar of water, and little roots will grow from those. So you can you can have your own mint growing. But do not just plant it in the garden, plant it in a pot, because it goes everywhere. It goes mad. Excuse me. So we've got some mint there, and I've also got some parsley as well, which I did pick from the garden. Not that bit, that wasn't mine. I can tell my own parsley. There it is. Just picked that from the garden as well. Let's go back and turn this cheese over. So the pan's heated up nicely now. You can see how that's going a lot quicker than the first batch. And I will pop a little bit more oil in there, just for that last side. There we go. That'll help. All right, that'll be done in a minute. So into my bowl, I'm not going to put the mint in there just quite yet. I'm just going to pop, this one will be a little bit more sturdy, but if I put all the hot stuff on top of that mint, it'll just go black very quickly. So just pulling these parsley leaves off, and almost sort of using the parsley as a bit of a leafy green, really. You don't necessarily have to chop up parsley all the time. It's got such a beautiful flavour. You can eat it sort of like as a salad green, especially if you've got it growing in the garden. So that's that. Let's take this halloumi out now. That'll be done on the other side. And that's it. And it's quite nice, actually, that the cameraman is not in the kitchen at the moment, because if I was taking halloumi out of the pan like this, you know who would be hovering around wanting to eat it, don't you? So don't eat the halloumi before dinner. All right. So in goes our lovely vegetables. Now, instead of the carrots and that sort of mix, you can, the carrots and, I forgot what they're called then, onions. Instead of carrots and onions, you can do a beautiful Mediterranean style mix of vegetables if you want to, zucchini, and keep the onions because they add that lovely sort of depth of flavour to the salad. But zucchini would be nice, eggplant, red capsicum would be absolutely beautiful. So you can really play around with that. And into that, let's have a look at our little couscous and see it's still quite warm. I'm just going to give it another little bit of a rinse. So if you don't want to use a really big pearl couscous, then this is just, I guess, a reinvention of, or levelling up perhaps of a pasta salad, because we all quite like pasta salads, don't we? But it's a little bit sort of 80s, 90s really, isn't it? So this beautiful couscous, this pearl couscous, so this is what it looks like. Go to the other camera, Mr. Camera. So this is what it looks like, the pearl couscous when it's cooked, and the pearl couscous when it's uncooked. So this is what it looks like in the bag as well. If we can go back to the front camera. He's good, isn't he? Or you can use the little toasted Israeli couscous if you want to instead. Or of course the regular couscous that you just have to soak. This one takes about 25 minutes boiling. This one takes 10 minutes boiling. And the sort of quick instant fluffy couscous takes about 5 minutes with boiling stock on it, or hot stock on it. So let me pop those over there. Now we finish with that. And I'm going to pop some of my cooking school vinaigrette on the it's making a noise, the oven, the stove. So I'm going to pop this onto the couscous here, just to give it a little bit of flavour, because it really does need, you know, like pasta, it's a little bit bland on its own, but it's a great carrier of flavour, and it's a great texture, a bringer of texture to dishes as well. So the cooking school vinaigrette is on the Providore, it's on the Cook's Collective as well, but it's on the Providore store under the sherry vinegar product, so you can go and have a look at that. So it's Dijon mustard, sherry vinegar, and some good WA extra virgin olive oil, and a little bit of salt. And that is my cooking school vinaigrette that I have all the time in the pantry, because whenever you have a salad like this, voila, and your salad is dressed. So it makes it very, very easy. Now, as I'm going to stir this, did you see? I was just about to put my hands in, wasn't I? Just use my hands for everything. So I'm just going to stir this around. Now, this on its own would be such a gorgeous, I don't know whether you can see that, such a gorgeous little salad to go with a roasted chicken or something like that. And it's got all those lovely flavours in with the za'atar type affair going on in there as well. And I'm just going to also very quickly, just before I make this up, talk to you about the rest of the Nordic dip mixes, because she's got a paprika and chili one, which is actually my favourite, and I love putting that into the Greek yogurt with a little bit of salt in, and that's a really gorgeous dip. It's just got a little bit of heat in it. This one is called Viking Herbs. It's got dill, parsley and chives in. That is delicious as well, and delicious on all sorts of things. I've done that on a potato salad before, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Really, really lovely. And this one is cumin and coriander, and they're best mates in the kitchen. So they go with everything, just so many different things, because you've got the depth of cumin and the high notes of coriander, and they are really beautiful all in Greek yogurt. So it's a very, very simple and quick way to make a dip, rather than buying a big dip and perhaps not eating it all and throwing some out. You can make as much as you need with these packets, so you'll find those on the Providore as well. So let's pop all of this together now, and of course I've got my halloumi over here, and I've still got the prosciutto as well. So as per what I normally do, actually I'm going to put some chard on here, because I really feel that this is quite a sort of a rich salad like this. So if I pop just a few bits of Swiss chard, or you can use baby spinach if you want to, or yeah, I think a softish leaf would be really good for this. So on goes this smells so good as well, because of this lovely spice mix. You can make it without, but it's just quite lovely having something a little bit different, isn't it, with a little bit of different spice mix in there. So I sort of tuck this in, like that, and a little bit of the old halloumi in there, and then just the next layer goes on the top, tumbling down over. That's just nice to have a few little bits on there, and I will finish off with a little bit more of this. See, you can see it's really important that you have some lovely green bits coming out showing on that, because otherwise you sort of tend to get this complete. That's it. That's it. I think that is absolutely delicious. You can squeeze a little bit of lemon over it if you want to. Oh, you're looking at it from that way, aren't you? I'm going to try and where's a beautiful angle. It is quite beautiful, isn't it? I think there's a little bit of mint on there. So there we go. There's my halloumi, prosciutto and couscous salad, which is great for a Wednesday night. Oh, fabulous at the weekend. Completely and utterly up to you when you want to make it, but I hope you do, because it's something a little bit different, and it's absolutely delicious. So look out for the recipe on our website this weekend, and it'll come out in the newsletter as well. So if you're not on the newsletter, get yourself on the newsletter, because you'll get a recipe a week from me and lots of local Providore news about what's in season. So eat well this week, and see you soon. tired.